All right, guys, this is DJ Wolf Live. All right, I just got the name of one of the four suspects. It was posted by the local TV station over in Minneapolis regarding the murder of George Floyd. One of the murder suspects' name, which he's the main one, is Derek Chauvin. He's a complete asshole. Excuse my French. He's in the picture that I'm going to post on the right that says "Make Whites Great Again," and on the left side is him with his knee on the neck of George Floyd, looking over at someone filming him. Like he had a complete attitude. Like, yeah. So what? It's just, it's just appalling to me, man. I posted on my personal Facebook page because I wanted people who I follow know me to realize the severity of this, what this asshole did. And I'm going to stay on top of this. This is something that should have never happened. Extremely avoidable. They arrested this man for supposedly forgery. And I'm like, if that's all it was, why'd you have to hurt this guy? He did not resist arrest. It's obvious in the videos that I saw. They got him out of his car. He didn't resist. They brought him over, put him over to the side. And somehow or another, they put him on the ground. But all the three of the four cops held him down. This son of a bitch holding him down with his knees, with his left knee directly on his neck. And now, these arrogant ass lawmakers over in Minneapolis talking about we need to wait till all the facts come out. The facts are all in the video. It's already out. Then y'all decide to let these guys walk because you just quote unquote fire them, and now the mayor talking about, well, we need to go ahead and charge him. Well, why didn't you charge him in the first damn place? You saw the video. You saw what happened. I also watched the video on the Breakfast Club this morning, and I have to admit, the Breakfast Club, the video that they posted this morning with DJ Envy interviewing Stephen Jackson, who was a longtime friend of George Floyd, was probably the best Breakfast Club interview I have ever seen in all my years of watching them. And it was a very powerful interview at that. And Stephen Jackson opened up emotionally about his longtime friendship with George Floyd. They became friends because they actually kind of look very similar to each other. George Floyd and Stephen Jackson almost look like twins. And there's a picture they had of them side by side that had them looking pretty much like twin brothers, real talk. They called each other twin. That's how close they were. And even he said that George Floyd wasn't the type of person that kept a lot of mess going on. He also said that he has made mistakes, and there was no reason for him to been hurt like those cops hurt him. But I'm gonna stay on top of this. There also were riots last night. There were a number of reports of it. There was a report of a shooting of a civilian last night who got killed. They didn't specify how or who did it. They didn't specify if it was a protester or not. But for some reason, I'm not sure if it was even part of the protest that where that occurred in terms of that being part of an incident that was from the protest. I think they just put that out to make you think that it was from the protest, and it probably wasn't. But I can't confirm or deny that. But they sure made it known to you that somebody was shot during the time of the protest, but they don't actually tell you if it was part of it or not, or if it was a result of it. Interesting. But I'm going to stay on top of this story because this is a story I think people should not let up on. Because to sit there and watch two of the four officers just allow this guy to die in front of your very eyes on video and not do anything about it to help them out or give them a chance to breathe or anything was complete bullshit. And the fact that this officer, Derek Chauvin, is a complete racist. And it's obvious when he got a hat on, says, "Make whites great again." I got the video directly from the news source, so. And, yeah. It's appalling. It's appalling to me that in this country, 400 years later, after the first Africans were brought over to this country, that the mindset of white supremacy is the same as it was 400 years ago. They didn't give a fuck about us then. They don't give a fuck about us now. But yet, when we find out that 4 suspects who were contributed in the murder of George Floyd only gets fired, and fired means basically, well, you're laid off, but you'll be able to file for benefits. It's because they don't intend to do any more to them than fire than make them lose their jobs. It's like, oh, you shot a dog. That's the way I'm seeing it. Oh, you just shot a deer or something, so and what's wrong, and like you shot somebody's property, but we'll just fire you. You took a life. 4 police officers contributed to the death of George Floyd and didn't give a damn about this man, even as he was begging to get air into his lungs, to breathe, to survive, to sustain life. And you punished them for nothing. That's what y'all motherfuckers did. And yet, everybody's supposed to remain calm because you don't know the outcome of what actually happened, even though everything was shot on video as proof of what actually happened. That's the oxymoron of white supremacy, where they try to make you think that you're stupider than what you already than what you're not. In other words, you didn't see this, even though it happened. It ain't really what you thought it was, but it's really what you thought it was. And I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of people playing these fucking games with our people, our culture, our people, and particularly our people, be it men, women, boys, girls, or babies, or what have you. It's sickening. It's sickening. And like I said before, and I don't have a problem saying it again, you put a levee in place, right? The levee is going to hold for so long. When it overflows, it bursts. Yeah, I said it. In other words, you cannot keep on telling people after all of these murders that occur, Trayvon Brown's, Trayvon Martin's, the Mike Browns, the Tamir Rice's of this world. Y'all keep doing it with impunity, and there's no justice served. And you keep telling people, be calm. Have calm for the city. Also, you can just let those people who did the murders get off scot-free. Y'all drag these cases on intentionally to intentionally not get a conviction, to make people think it's going to go away after you drag it out for months on end. The intention is never for you guys to prosecute anybody, which is the reason why they play these games every time you see the videos out. Because they bullshit. But we have to remain calm. We're not supposed to say anything. People are not supposed to protest in the streets. Like I said, if you protest, this is me, I'd rather you be peaceful protest, to be honest. But, like I said, the levees are, a weak levee is only going to hold for so long. In other words, people are going to get tired of that mess. People are going to get tired of you always talking about remain calm while we try to pretend like we're going to convict these guys. It's all a game. It's a dog and pony show. And we're tired of this dog and pony show. We want to see real outcomes in terms of justice. Justice. Just lock them up for the time they need to be convicted for. Okay? This is a crime. And I'm tired of it, even with the Bolon John, with the guy who was shot to death by a cop in his own apartment, just because she thought it was her apartment, and it wasn't her apartment, it was his. She got off with only 10 years. And you know they're going to give her good behavior. She'll probably be out in less than 5. And the family, which I understand, that's not the whole story. I could talk about that all day about the family, but my point of it is the fact that they don't take anything seriously when it comes to black folks being murdered with impunity by law enforcement. They never do. Because they don't give a shit. Over half the people who are in law enforcement are racist anyway. That's why they keep doing it. You know, not realizing your guys like these racists that are out here are the detriment of their own country. They're very detriment. And y'all keep doing the same wash, rinse, repeat all over again. The same cycle of bullshit. At some point, that cycle got to stop. At some point, these white supremacists, man, out here are going to have a come to Jesus moment. At some point. Because people are tired of shit. I know there's black people I don't want to talk about it, like, oh, let's pray, and Jesus will work it out and all that. And I understand why you do that. But what I don't understand is, why is it that you leave it just to the prayer and not to the work? You know what I mean? Because you know what they say. Faith without work is completely dead. In other words, you can pray all you want. Like Fannie Lou Hamer said. But it's not going anywhere if you don't put the work behind it. The work means that law enforcement and the lawmakers need to really completely do the work of justice that needs to be done, especially these so-called people that are in law enforcement and lawmakers that are quote-unquote Christians. If you believe in an eye for an eye, damn it, then practice what you preach. Don't administer what you teach, but practice what you preach. If you believe in people should be paying for the crime, that goes for law enforcement too. No one is supposed to be above the law, not even law enforcement. It's DJ Wolf. I'm out.